initially accepted to semester in the city, I knew it was an opportunity I couldn't pass up. I celebrated with my friends and my family, and we were all really excited at the opportunities that were waiting here in Boston. It had been a long journey to my senior year, and this felt like a proper send-off. As I reflected on the last 4 years, I thought about what I'd been through to reach where I am. Throughout the course of my college career, I had been enrolled at 4 different schools just trying to find my place. Amid that chaos, I took a semester off, working full-time to help pay for whatever college I stumbled into next. It was during this time that I was accepted to Clark University, and I didn't know it yet, but this is where I'd formed lifelong friends with my teammates, classmates, and my roommates. Just as I had settled in, COVID-19 began to rip through our worlds, yet again sending me into a state of isolation and uncertainty. I had already been on borrowed time with my friends at Clark and my coworkers that I'd grown so close with due to my situation. So I will admit, when I chose to accept my offer at SITC, I knew it'd be more valuable time that I'd lose with these people. So when I first moved into the Alston apartments, I was really sad being with an entirely new group of peers and coworkers. I spent the majority of my first week locked in my room, wondering if this is how I would spend the whole semester. Luckily, this wicked sob fest of mine proved temporary when I realized that my roommates just absolutely were not going to allow it. At the end of launch week, my roommates met up with me at the train stop, and they were fresh from a trip to the dollar store, all with new pairs of sunglasses, and while I barely knew them at the time, we had barely even had a conversation, they still bought a pair for me. And not only that, but they gave me the coolest pair, the ones with the flashy jewels encrusted on them. From that day on, whenever they went on some silly adventure, they would knock on my door and beg me to come, until they didn't have to beg anymore, because I was always down. I will never forget our trip to the apple orchard, karaoke night, concerts, and even just late night walks. I am especially grateful for the night I got home from work at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday to find that my roommates waited up for me. And not only did they stay up, but they peeked out the windows to watch me walk up the street so they could hide in the dark and shoot me with Nerf guns when I walked in. It scared the living crap out of me. My soul just about left my body. I'll miss those nights. It wasn't just my roommates that made me feel right at home, but my new coworkers at the House of Blues and at my internship site, Boston City Singers, that welcomed me with open arms as well. All the worries I had about fitting in and making connections went out the window when I realized that everybody here was on my side and not only cared about my professional advancement, but also just me as a person. While I was honored to be doing such meaningful work, it wasn't just work. It was lunch with my mentor to talk about all the places we wanted to travel. It was talking about the future plans with the kids in the singing program. It was a night out with coworkers after a rough shift. I was lucky enough to spend time with some incredible people this semester who wasted no time bringing me in like I was one of their own. So looking back at my initial fears of leaving my family at home, I can rest assured that I made a good choice, as I have another family here in Boston as well. And hopefully wherever the future takes me. So in all honesty, I spent a lot of time prior to moving in wondering how I'd ever get through the next 3.5 months. And now during our last couple days, I'm wondering where the time even went. So for lack of a better phrase, it's been real. Thank you guys.